Today we are going to make a masculine themed Valentine's card using products from Miss Ink Stamps, and let's get into it right now. All right, for today's card, I'm using the Robot Life stamp set, the Postmark stamp set. I thought I was going to use those dies, but I decided not to. We used the Swink postage stamps, postage heart dies, and the Need Input stencils, which is what we're using right now. I've cut 3 pieces of pinkish red cardstock from the Roses Smooth Cardstock paper pad from scrapbook.com. I placed my stencil on top, and I'm using Samba ink to ink blend over that using my Beady Bunny blender brushes. And I'm doing some of the areas light and some of them a little heavier so that there is a different contrast in the designs. We are going to use the stencil. I'm going to rotate and flip around, and I'm going to use it for 3 different panels that I'm going to end up cutting hearts from. It's a Girl ink. I'm just the lightest pink of the paper in that cardstock pack. So I'm just ink blending over that. I'm going to add some of darker pink in there also. But this is just a great way to get more from your stencil by ink blending on tone onto some pattern or onto some cardstock that you can cut up and die cut into different pieces that you like. You can see I flipped the stencil around again. And this time we're going to come in with Rockin' Red. I'm using Catherine Pooler inks today to do all my ink blending. So we are going to go ahead and do that. It's just a good way. And my rule about masculine cards for Valentine's is you can use pink. Don't be afraid of using pink for a masculine card. Most guys will wear pink anyway, so why be afraid of it? All right, so there's my 3 stenciled panels. I have the same cardstock and that same piece of cardstock. I'm going to stamp down the little robot from the Robot Life stamp set. I'm going to stamp him twice with some Tuxedo Black ink because I am going to do some very simple coloring with my Ohuhu markers. I picked 3 different shades of gray to begin with. I chose the neutral grays, and I'm just coming in and adding where I want my shadows at the darkest color. I decided to pull in the heart that I knew I was going to die cut him out with. That way I didn't have to color the entire thing. So another little tip there. So right there, I'm just going to mark where I'm going to end up having a color and just come in and blend out with the next color. And blend that out. It's just a medium tone. I think it's NG6 or something like that. 06. NG06. So I'm just blending that out. I do use the neutral cool gray 03 to blend all that out. And I am going to come in with a little warmer color to finish off my color combo. But I decided to come back and change that after I colored it, because it was just a little too warm and too contrasting to the color. So don't be afraid when you're coloring with your alcohol markers to let it dry and then come back over it to blend it all together. That's what I did here. So I'm coming in with that warm gray. It blended everything, but it was too warm compared to the rest of it. So I came back, picked a cooler gray, and just went back over it after it all dried. Now I'm going to come in with a couple of different colors. I only chose 1 color of each. I didn't do any blending. I just filled it in. The little eyes, the little buttons on his little chest with different colors. I do come back and add a little bit of red in there to just finish all that blending, or to make it coordinate. I cut out the lips from the Swank hearts die set, or Swank postage hearts. I'm also going to cut out those pieces from my pattern paper, as well as the outline dies in the white. So I'm going to run those all through. I've got all the pieces cut out. And now I'm going to start layering them together. So I've picked out my biggest heart. I'm going to add him to my little postage heart die cut. Same thing with some of the stenciled ones. I just found the ones that matched and layered them together. Now I'm going to come in with the postmark. I'm going to lay everything out where I think it's going to go. I did move my main focal image. I wanted these to be more in the background. I'm going to end up changing my arrangement around when I glue it down. Like this big heart, we're going to move up a little bit. Don't be afraid to change your mind, people. It's okay. And we're going to layer our other hearts up. That pink paper in the background is just a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of paper I've cut down to be my card front. I'm also going to add in some just plain hearts and some plain stenciled hearts as well without any of that white background. I'm just attaching those to letting them hang off the sides because I'm going to end up cutting some of this off anyway. So no big deal. I'm just adding glue where I know it was going to be. Now I'm going to come in with the postmark set, and there's a couple postmark stamps in there. I'm going to add the cancel stripes, whatever those are called, to the images on both designs. I just stamped over the hearts as it was. There's a couple different cents cost of the stamps prices in there, however you say that. And some other postmarks. So there's an airmail and then just this circle. I just chose the rock and red and just came in and did those. And then I'm going to come in and finish adding the different prices. I didn't use the 50-cent one. I'm going to add some additional little hearts. All these are coming from that postmark stamp set. So there's a good value for your buck. It's a small 3x4 stamp set, but it's super affordable and super fun. So I'm just adding some finishing little hearts. I'm going to end up cutting off that excess. So I just flipped it over, take my long handle scissors, cut off anything hanging over on the 4 sides of the card front. And we are going to move all that out of the way. And then I'm going to put this on my card base. I just chose a Neenah Desert Storm 100-pound cardstock and put that as my card base because y'all know I love a craft. All right, now I'm going to add our focal images. I'm going to pop these up with some foam tape. I'm just going to add that in the 2 places of the hearts, peel those off, and then I'm going to start tacking those down. I decided to move it up at the top since it is my focal image. The medium heart and the small heart I'm going to put right here, and I'm going to end up moving that because I'm not going to like where it is. Basically because the medium-sized heart didn't fit, so I had to move it over. So I'm just going to move that one over to the side a little bit. Notice I'm overlapping all the hearts. That way it gives us a nice cohesive look. For the sentiment, I just took a white piece of cardstock in a strip, stamped forever and a heart. So it's forever love. And I'm going to do a fishtail banner. I'm just going to trim off up the center and cut off the sides. And I had to go back and fix that angle because Rick cut it wrong. Shocker there, y'all, I know. So we are just going to go ahead and finish out of that. I hope y'all are having a wonderful weekend or week whenever you're watching this. We're just going to stick that sentiment up there. Nothing's much going on this week here in our house. Oh, let me talk about the inside of the card for a second. I'm going to take a piece of mint tape. This is the 1-inch mint tape from scrapbook.com and lay it on a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 Neenah Cellar White cardstock. I'm going to make sure it's lined up straight. That's why I had to move it. This is just an easy way to add a little detail to the inside of my card. I'm going to take that same stencil that we used, the Need Input stencil for Miss Ink Stamps, and I'm going to use the same three inks that I used, the It's a Girl, the Samba, and the Rock and Red, and I'm just going to ink blend right over the stencil in that mask off area and let the inks blend together. We're going to come in with that Rock and Red right here. This adds a good little detail that coordinates with the front of our card and makes it have that little bit more of a masculine feel, even though we use those lighter pinky inks. So we're going to fill that off, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach that extra heart right here on the inside. That way it has more of that masculine element in it. We're going to attach that to our card front, our card base, our inside of our card. And then we are going to add our white gel pen highlights. So as I was saying, don't be afraid to use pink or these pinky colors on a masculine card. We all guys wear pink. It's okay, y'all. And it's just a symbol, color of love. And so it's symbolic. Just go ahead and do it. It's okay. But you can notice I kept everything in those same tones. So I didn't go like all crazy. The darkest we went is that red ink. And it ties everything into that same colors that we used on our papers because those are all tints and tones of that same color. So I'm just adding some Stardust stickles around the card on some of the hearts, on his little buttons, on his eyes. And we're going to finish off with a few more little Stardust stickles on some of the other little hearts. And that's a closer look at the card. Here's a look at the inside, and here's some closer look at the cards in the video. And if you like this video, you're probably going to like the one coming up next. I will see you in that video. Bye, guys. Stay crafty. Love you.